What's up, everybody? It's Joe Miller from the Dirty Burfield, and today we're going to be talking about what you do if this happens on the trail. And this has happened to me, okay? Especially with some of these 4x4 shops, it's really annoying. They give you these valve stems that are like 2 inches long. And what ends up happening with a 2-inch long valve stem is this. Ha! Let's try this again. Let's keep going. See, I don't have 2-inch long valve stems. There we go. There we go. You're wheeling and your 4x4 shop, when you got your off-road tires, put in a 2-inch long valve stem. And so when you went wheeling, you got it caught on something, and now you have a broken valve stem and you're on the trail in the middle of the bush. What do? You can put on your spare tire, but usually everyone's spare tire looks like shit, like mine does, which is super bald. And if you are smart, well, not smart, because lots of people can be smart and forget this, but keep some valve stems in your ashtray in the truck or in your tools, wherever you keep them. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And also get the 7/8 long valve stems. I'll put a link in the description here for you so you can get those. It's super cheap. I really, really recommend this. And so today we're gonna be replacing this on the trail and showing you how you can do that, and how you can use a high lift jack to take off the bead, because you're gonna have to get in behind the rim to be able to replace this valve stem. This has happened to me. I was on a trail, wet, cold, rainy day, and had torn my valve stem because it was one of those long, like 1.5 to 2-inch long rubber valve stems. And I had a spare tire that was a different size than my actual tire. And it just sucks to have to use your spare tire. So I would opt to do this. You'll see it's a pretty quick fix once you know how to do it. And if you have a chance to do it before you're on the trail, that's great. Also, if you have long valve stems right now, you can do this in your driveway and be ready for the trail and have, I mean, I've never torn a valve stem that is a rubber 7/8 long valve stem. Now, if you're doing this at home, it really is different. But if you're on the trail and you tear your valve stem and you need to replace it, you gotta just kind of think about the order of things. And usually, we're gonna need our high lift jack for this. So once you get your spare out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off this tire. We're gonna put the spare tire. I mean, now is when you can pop on your spare tire and be on your way, that's fine. But in terms of replacing this valve stem, we need to be able to take the tire off and set it down so we can then use the jack to then pop the bead of this tire. So what I like to do is use my spare tire as the jack stand, and then we can pull this off and we'll be able to let the truck down onto the jack stand. And also, we've talked about this in my other videos, another good reason to have a piece of wood, piece of firewood, something that you can use to put on your rim as you set the truck down on it. So let's do that. All right, now we're ready to go. In order to get inside the rim, we actually have to pop the bead off of the rim. So we need to squish this down. We're gonna use the high lift to do that. You're gonna want this on the heavier part of the truck. What I normally do is, if you had a buddy with you, is you just use their truck. But since I don't, I'm going to move this to the front of the truck where the motor is, so there's just more weight pushing down. The idea here is you're using the weight of the truck to squish down, and you know, a small block of wood or something soft here would be fine, but tires are pretty beef, so let's just get going. And you can hear air coming out of it. There we go. So in the Pacific Northwest, there's a lot of trees and roots that we're wheeling on, and if you don't run bead locks, one of the cons to that is that occasionally your sidewall will be pushing up against a stump or root or a piece of wood somewhere in the bush, and the bark or something will get stuck between your bead and your tire, and you'll develop a slow leak. So this is also a good opportunity if you're at home or if you're on the trail and you're annoyed by this leak, just to pop this off, and then you could clean out, just make sure all that bark mulch or all that bark is out from behind your bead, and then you got to seat it, which we'll get to. Okay, so now we can actually take off the rest of this. I can probably just tear it off. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. That is the torn valve. Okay, and then you get to go get your spare that you have in your cigarette ashtray inside your truck and put it on. So let's go do that. So this is what I'm using. It's a 7/8 rubber valve stem. It's like a couple bucks. I'll put a link, affiliate link in the comments somewhere. But this is what I run. I've had good luck with these. Not good luck with the 2-inch or longer. And all you need is this and a bit of spit. So I like to just put my finger behind here, make sure there's nothing in the way. Okay, there's a bit of bead sealer on here from previous tire shop, and I've talked about these valve core removal caps, which are all metal, and I'll put a link to those too in the comments. But I don't use these, but these are great just to protect the threads, because all I'm gonna do is spit on this. Okay, spit on it, put it in the hole, grab it with your pliers, and this helps protect your threads. And then you just kind of wiggle it up, and then you'll feel it seat in there. Okay, there we go. That valve has been replaced. Now if you're doing a car tire or something, it's like dead easy to fill this up. The next video is how to seat the bead when you're in the bush. There's a couple different options that I'll show you. Okay, let's get to it.